One is the extraordinarily erratic behavior of the United States government, and personalized in Mr. Trump. He shocks the world. He shocks most Americans. Nobody can really rationalize the brazenness, the lawlessness, the viciousness of U.S. actions and of Trump's rhetoric. His line about sending Iran back to the Stone Age shocked everybody in the world, I think. We can add that his partner in this crime, Benjamin Netanyahu, gave a similarly shocking speech that fewer people saw the day before, and the start of the Jewish Passover holiday. And in the Passover holiday, which is the story of the Israelite exodus from Egypt, God visits 10 plagues on the Egyptian people. And in Netanyahu's speech, he visited 10 plagues on the Iranian people. It's again a speech of shocking brutality, and also a geopolitics, I would say, of maybe the 9th century BC. The mindset, the biblical framing, Netanyahu casting himself as God, is all so stark, so sharp that anyone that is watching what is happening right now sees that we have an extraordinarily violent war that seems to have justifications coming out of 9th century BC mindsets, or simply psychopathic ideas of sending other nations to the Stone Age. We heard Trump chortle about the destruction of a bridge in which 9 people were killed crossing the bridge, which was a non-military target, and reportedly 95 people injured at the attack on the bridge, and the president was delighted by that. So this is one thing that's happening, is all over the world and inside the United States, there is a sense of a absolutely violent and lawless regime in the United States. The second is the battlefield. American hegemony ultimately rests on the belief that America dominates the battlefield. And all of the rhetoric of Trump and Netanyahu has been since the start of this operation, but it's true in every U.S. operation, that shock and awe will overcome the foe, and that the inevitability of U.S. victory is so overwhelming that everyone will bow down to the United States. And more that idea is unraveling. One could say that it unraveled decades ago in Vietnam. One could say that the same failure was shown in Central America in the Contra Wars. One could argue that the same has been seen throughout the Middle East and Afghanistan, that this overwhelming force doesn't prevail. But each time the same proposition is put forward, that the might of the United States, the unprecedented ability to project power and force, is overwhelming. And Trump made that claim a couple of days ago, and then the next day 2 American fighter jets were downed, and counterattacks came in Israel and in the Gulf region again. So to many observers, many people you are meeting with and discussing, the battlefield evidence is quite the contrary of what's being claimed by the United States. Iran seems to have continuing massive retaliatory force. The depletion of anti-missile systems seems to be real. The breakdowns of morale in the U.S., even reportedly forcing an aircraft carrier to return to base because of some kind of insurrection or insubordination or collapse of morale among the sailors, as reported, seems to show the opposite. So there's a fundamental question: what is America's power? And ultimately, that turns on its military and economic power.